In this video, I break down why rejection isn't the enemy you think it is, and instead show you how shifting your mindset towards rejection can actually be your secret weapon. And in the process, it can also make you that much more attractive to women. So, are you ready to turn things around? Let's dive on in. You gotta think about rejection in a new way. And I understand that getting rejected by a lot of women, 70, 80% of the time, it can be daunting. It can feel like something's wrong with you, and you can start taking on those thoughts like, what's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not confident enough. I don't make enough money. Fill in the blanks of X, Y, and Z negative thoughts that you could be feeding yourself because you are believing, well, based on my results, it has to be me. And that could be true, but not in the way that you think. It could be more about your approach and your demeanor. Women reject men a lot sometimes because they just don't feel safe and they feel threatened, especially if you're coming up to a woman and she's walking, on the street. You got to be careful how you do your approach from a spatial situation and your tone of voice, the words that you use, a lot of that matters. But that's a different video for a different day. I'm covering mindset around rejection today. And basically, I want you to look at this when you are approaching women and out there in the dating scene. I want you to look at this more from a logical standpoint to keep you out of that negative thinking. So, for instance, you got to look at it like the law of averages or the magic of probability. And if you don't know what that is, of course, you can Google it or look it up. But in a nutshell, the law of averages says that over time, your results, the numbers, everything tends to even out and line up. There's an average out of everything. For instance, if say you DM like 50 women online and 20% respond to you, so 10 women respond to you, and maybe seven of those women, you start talking to all of them online on a dating app. And seven of those women you're not compatible with. But three of those women you actually are compatible with. You like each other. So you start talking more and more, eventually, hopefully, to get their number to then get them out on a date, see them in person, and really get the vibe and get to that quickly. Well, the law of averages. If you then DM'd 100 women, your that percentage of women responding back to you is going to go up. So the more women you talk to, the average is going to go up, and the more women out of that average you're going to end up being compatible with, and possibly end up having a positive a positive situation with, even if it just comes out of they talk to you but you don't end up going out on a date. They're necessarily not coming out the bat rejecting you. Does that make sense? I hope so. Now, the magic of probability is interesting. And you can use both of these. Again, the reason why I'm bringing these in to help change your mindset, to help you think about it more from a logical standpoint, even if you got to make it into a numbers game, just to keep any type of upset or emotion, anything that's coming up, take it out of the equation so it's not going to knock you completely out of the game and get you all, in a dark place or in a sad place or in a less confident and insecure place. That's going to have an influence on everything. It's going to have an influence on your confidence, your approach, your experience. This is going to help you stay focused and grounded, and hopefully take the pressure off, take the stress off, and have some fun with it. The magic of probability, in a nutshell, basically says you can predict the results, you can predict the outcome based on the patterns that you're seeing and mathematical principles. Another example of this through the magic of probability, say you know in your dating experience, in your dating life, that if you talk to in a day an average of 5 women that you like, you approach them, you know that maybe one is going to respond positively. Now, you know that if you talk to 5 women, maybe all 5 of them will reject you. However, the magic of probability, you can look at it through that lens and bump the numbers up. So basically, if you talk to 50 women, then you know you have a 20% success rate based on your approach and your experience. So then you know 10 women out of that 50 are more than likely going to respond positively. Now, granted, you can't be right on 100% with that, but it can help you get your mindset in a positive place, in a more logical place, in a place where you can play with the numbers and have fun with it and just look at it like, okay, this is a numbers game. At the end of the day, the more women I talk to, the more women I approach, the more I may get rejected by, but also the more women will have a positive response as well. And then out of that, 3, 4, 5, somebody out of here is going to like me just based on looking at it from the patterns and the numbers. And you can make it more fun. It's like a real life game. I'm not saying play with people's emotions when you finally find a woman or a few women to date that you like. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying be a player, manipulate women. I'm just saying this is something that you can do in your head and use it to keep you in a more logical, grounded, focused place to take the stress off of it and go into it more unattached. Even if you look at it and train your mindset to look at rejection through the law of averages, through the magic of probability, don't be attached to that either. It's just a strategy, again, to help you stay more in a grounded masculine place, a confident place where you can come to approach these women and not get so discombobulated, upset, insecure around the rejection and the results. If you like this video, press the thumbs or the thumb. Comment below. Let me know if this helps. You can rewire and change your mindset around this. Take the stress off. Subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm dropping here. More videos to come, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.